Welcome to our virtual media day radio row situation. It's a strange year, but what isn't strange is how excited I am to be joined by James White. James, thank you so much for being here with us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
You said you're... Yeah, so speaking of the offseason, let's get right into it. You are heading into free agency for the first time ever this year, and I think we should just break some news. I think you should tell me exactly where you're going to end up and what your future looks like.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never been in this position before, so I'm excited for the process. I'll let my agents handle all the talking and all that things of that nature. But for myself, just train hard, make sure my body's feeling good, and where I end up, I'm ready to go.
Do you have any team that's the dream team for you?
No, it doesn't really matter to me. I just want to go somewhere where I can go out and compete and help team win football games.
Is there any one quarterback right now that you think is just would be the most fun to play with? Any top five? Any top five?
There's lots of talented guys in the NFL and a lot of guys that can play at a high level. And like I said, I think I can come out and help teams win football games, and whether it's run the ball, catching, blocking, whatever teams need me to do.
Well, you can certainly win football games. I'm a Pats fan, and the 28-3 game will forever be one of the greatest sports experiences of my life. In that game, you had 14 receptions, 20 points for you alone. What was it like? Clearly Brady's back in the Super Bowl. What was it like playing in that game with him? And what do you think that game sort of says about what fans come to expect of him?
I mean, it was such an amazing game by everybody on that football field. Obviously, that first half didn't go anywhere near the way we wanted to go, but having guys like Tom Brady, Julian Edelman, Devin McCourty, Dante Hightower, guys like that in that locker room to keep everybody motivated, to keep pushing and keep going and keep scratching. We found our way back in that game, and Tom's the ultimate competitor. No matter how far up you are or how far down you are in the game, he's has the same amount of intensity. He's going to compete for 4 quarters, and I think guys on our team know that, and guys on opposing teams know that too.
Yeah, I mean the things that he's able to turn around. He said that you were his forever teammate after your father passed away this year. I'm so sorry. What was that? What was this year like for you? How did you get through it?
It was definitely a challenging year for me, for sure. Not having my dad here, with us, definitely a challenging, and having my mom kind of have to recover through everything, and she's still trying to recover. So it definitely was hard not being home and being far away from family. And our season didn't go quite the way we wanted to. That was challenging too. So it definitely, made me stronger for sure. Just helps me to learn to, live in the moment, enjoy each and every breath, each and every, moment with my wife, my kids, my mom, my brother, and all the things that I have. Life is precious. You never know, when our time is up.
Yeah, I mean, between what you went through personally and COVID, it must have been a hard year. And how did the team support you? And that its season clearly didn't go the way you guys wanted. What was the vibe of the locker room? What was the feeling around Foxborough this year?
I think everybody still came out and practiced as hard as possible, studied as hard as possible, just so we can go out there and compete. And I think guys did that. Obviously, we didn't win as many games as we wanted to, but no matter what the score was, whether we were up or down, a close game, guys were competing, doing their best. Had a lot of young guys going out there playing for the first time, and they were competing as well and learning as the season went on. So no matter what our record was, guys were coming in ready to work, practice, studying in the weight room. It's a great group of guys in that locker room that we have. So it was still special, even though it didn't quite go the way we wanted to.
Even hearing the nicknames that Cam Newton had for all of you guys was sort of a glimpse into what I hoped was still a spirit of fun, despite how things were going. Did Belichick ever let on how he felt about the sort of swirling discussion in the media of, Brady or Belichick, who's responsible for the dynasty? Did he ever give any hint that he was paying attention to any of that?
Never. He doesn't care about any of that stuff. He's just focused on, how to get the football team to win football games. He can care less about, all that hot air in the media, as you guys probably know.
I mean, it's a lot of hot air, let me tell you. That sweatshirt though that he showed up in that press conference with all those holes in it. Does he wear that regularly? Were you guys like, oh, that's just Bill's favorite sweatshirt, and all of us were like, oh, that's exactly how we feel in 2020?
I think he has a couple staple pieces that he likes to wear. It's not just one thing. He has a unique sense of fashion, and it works for him.
It does. Did you ever see him cut the sleeves off his sweatshirt?
I've never seen it personally, but yeah, he has all different, lengths of the sleeve. There's no sleeves, 3/4, 7/8.
A 7/8 sleeve sweatshirt. That's going to be the next big fashion trend. We'll credit you with it. So there is actually a Super Bowl happening, believe it or not, and we've got sort of the new school with Pat Mahomes, the Patrick Mahomes, excuse me, the old school with Tom Brady, which you know a thing or two about. And something that's been really interesting to ask guys is where were you for Tom Brady's first Super Bowl in 2002? And do you remember watching that?
2002, I was 10 years old. I don't exactly remember watching it, no, but just being such a young age and watching him on TV and then having the opportunity to, play in the NFL with him is kind of unique. To see a guy to play in a Super Bowl in 2002 and then be playing one in 2021 is kind of amazing. You never ever seen that before. So it's a testament to him, testament to his teammates. Those guys, they, had some ups and downs throughout the season and they found a way to get to this point here. So it's a credit to all those guys.
Yeah. Have you talked to Tom at all over, the course of the season or about how things were going?
Not about the season, but we just check in on him, like see how we're doing, type of thing. Not really talk about football, but like I said, he's a good friend of mine. Learned a lot from him, and be friends forever.
I love that. I also have to tell you that you made some appearances in his TB Times, his old fake newspaper, on Instagram that I became all too obsessed with. So I always think of you in those cartoons, which great to see the non-cartoon version. What to you is more impressive? What Mahomes has accomplished by 25, or what Brady is still doing at 43?
I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Brady to have that much success for 20 plus years or whatever it is truly amazing. That's not a knock to what Pat's doing because he's
right.
having started his career, and I'm sure he'll have plenty more success. But to do it for 20 something years, that's not really heard of.
It's amazing. All right, so James, we got to play a little game here. Because it's the sort of new school, old school vibe, I'm gonna try to guess who you think is gonna win the Super Bowl just by asking you a few rapid fire questions. Are you ready? James is like, oh no. Okay, so first of all, Vine or TikTok?
Fine.
My man. NBA Jam or Fortnite?
The NBA Jam.
Okay. Defense or offense? You're like, do you know what I do? Outcast or Migos?
Outcast.
All right, one more. Yoda or Baby Yoda?
Oh, Yoda.
Baby Yoda? All right. Oh. James, after some very, very careful calculations, you are old school. You think the Bucks are going to win the Super Bowl. Am I right? Is that correct? What's your prediction?
I think the Bucks are going to win. It's going to be a close one. Two good offenses and two good defenses. It's going to come down to what defense can make a few stops and create some turnovers. That's what we're going to come down to.
You got a score prediction?
I'm going to say 34-31 Bucks.
34-31. All right, we're going to hold you to that. I'll check back in and tell you how you did. James, thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure to talk to you, and good luck heading into this next year.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And thank all